Welcome to this week's edition of Mainely Motorsports, and I'll tell you, I'm hoping it's a good show. I can't promise you anything. It's going to be a little different, flying solo for the whole thing. The reason is, we're taping this at 1 a.m. Monday morning, fresh off the Mainely Motorsports TV 400, and what a weekend it was. Saw some great racing at all levels, and those of you that made it there, stayed through the weekend, saw some great racing. Maybe you didn't see every race, but these kids, all the ways up to these young and older adults, did a great job of putting on great racing. And I can't thank everybody enough that really pitched in and helped out. The staff up there, you all know who you are, from my wife and kids to family to, friends. Everybody pitched in because, to put on a big event, obviously the racetracks all have hired help and a lot of help. We have people that volunteer, they get a little something to eat or whatever, and a little bit of money at the end of the weekend, but they all went above the call of duty to put on what I considered a very successful event. And we're going to show you a lot of highlights today. I wanted to bring what I considered the star of the weekend on the show to co-host, but Mom and Dad both said that there was no way that Austin Terrace was coming with me at 1 o'clock on Monday morning because he wouldn't get up for school. But I'll tell you, the kid has a boatload of talent. Young racer, Dad, Jay Cushman, everybody knows Jay, the history he has in the sport, the knowledge he has in the sport. Well, he's taken his knowledge and his work ethic, putting a young driver in a cart, giving him all the resources and all the tools, and he did what others dreamed of. There was other kids that did the same thing and ran 3 classes and tried to do their best, and they all did. I mean, saw some great racing, and that's the classes they run are your mid-level to your next level of stars classes. It's not an entry level, it's not the top, it's that mid-range. And young Austin Terrace did what he set out to do. He swept the weekend. The Junior Sportsman Flathead race, the Junior Sportsman Animal race, and then backed it up with the Sportsman race here this past weekend up at Richmond Karting Speedway for the Mainely Motorsports TV 400. And the kid's so humble. He does it, wins with respect, wins with dignity, and just puts his heart and soul in behind the wheel. And even after the 3rd feature, I mean, that's a lot out of a young child at one weekend. And he looked like he could run 2 or 3 more, unlike me, what I look like right now. But what a great job by him, and congratulations to Jay and Rachel. It's quite an accomplishment to what he was able to do. But it was just a tremendous weekend up there. And I can't thank the sponsors enough that really helped. And we had a lot of race fans that I saw in the crowd, coming up to check out what these kids have to offer and what we had for a show. We put over 100 carts through Richmond Karting Speedway this past weekend, and probably the highlight event. We all come to see the kids, we all come to see everybody, but it's just like when you go to the tour races or when you go down to Daytona, you might check the truck race out. Yeah, I like the nationwide race, but you're there for the 500. And it's the same thing with kart racing. We had the Animal Unrestricted Senior Champ class, racing for $1,250 to win. Then we had the Senior Sportsman Flathead class, which flatheads that look like your old Briggs & Stratton mowers off your lawn mowers and things like that. Dying breed in what they call the karting world. Everybody's going with animals or clones throughout the other parts of the country. The flatheads are still going strong up here in the state of Maine. We brought 32 flatheads to qualify and race for $1,250, 20 starting positions. We had drivers from Massachusetts, New Hampshire. We had a boatload of drivers come up from Connecticut, all trying to chase that big money. But it was phenomenal to have over 50 karts in your 2 top classes racing for money. I mean, they had the crowd on the edge of their seat. They had to go through the qualifying procedure. Some of that was a little rough. But when it came time for the main event, and everybody that was there knows that what I'm saying is true, they put on a race. And I can't thank the racers enough, and that's just like anything on your local Saturday night short tracks. We all might want to go out of there and we all want to blame the promoter or blame somebody that has something to do with the event. But ultimately, the drivers and the racers are accountable for their actions, and if they want to create caution after caution after caution, it's going to drag the night out. But the guys this past weekend at the Mainely Motorsports TV 400 did a great job in all divisions. We'll talk more about it later. We're going to have a lot of highlights on this week's show, kind of trying to keep something fresh together for you, for the sponsors and the advertisers. And, that's what we're going to do here this week on Mainely Motorsports. So we'll take a break. We'll be right back. right here on Mainely Motorsports.
Where's the best place to get a new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram? Southern Maine Motors.
Well, it's a 2012 Dodge Challenger with a 5.7 Hemi. I saw it on the lot here at Southern Maine Motors, and I fell in love with it.
The process was really easy. They had exactly what I wanted, so I took it home the same day. I was very pleased.
You got to be careful when you drive this thing. You don't want to get out of it. It hugs the road so good.
Southern Maine Motors is my dealership.
No other dealer is working as hard to be #1 as Southern Maine Motors.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
July was our best month ever, thanks to our end-of-season pricing sale. So, we've decided to extend our sale until all inventory is gone. Save thousands on our entire inventory. Travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, truck campers, even horse trailers. Every camper in stock. Save up to $20,000. We need an empty lot. Over $1 million in snowmobile trailers are on their way. Last call for end-of-season pricing. Trades welcome, no money down financing available.
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Award Champs, rewarding your champions, the official supplier of Mainly Motorsports.
Well, you heard me talk in that last segment about what I considered the star of the weekend for the Mainely Motorsports go-karting event, and that's young Austin Terrace, right out of Windham, Maine. Son of Jay and Rachel Cushman Terrace, and the kid did an amazing job, and makes me think of another Austin that's got a big opportunity coming up next week, right down there at Loudon, New Hampshire Motor Speedway, K&N race, Cup weekend. The young gun winner, young Austin Terrio, and it wasn't long ago. I don't know if he was in a go-kart. I think he was actually in a pulling tractor. So. They all start in some form of motorsports, and that where they hope to end up is in the pinnacle in New England, is down there at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And can't thank Go Green Racing enough. Archie Santalea brought us in, involved us in the program through the TV show, allowed the fans to get involved through the Northeast Motorsports Expo. You guys all followed along with it, saw the process, saw the winner chosen. Ray Letelier made the choice there a couple weeks ago, and now next week, young Austin Terrio gets to take his shot at the K&N Series down at Loudon. Well, this past weekend, he had a decision to make. They had an all-star race up in Canada for the ACT. It wasn't a points race. Got rained out Saturday. He had made sponsor commitments, family commitments, and committed to Jerry Humphrey, who was trying to make the Spud 150, which Troy Haney started 4 years ago, and Austin won the first inaugural event. He was trying to keep that going. Leased the track from Troy for the weekend, lined up some great sponsors through his own business, Last Chance Motorsports, and what a great job. The cars came, the people came, and there was some life there up at Spud Speedway with some racing, some good racing, and commend Austin Terrio on doing the right thing and honoring his sponsors and a commitment to a guy that went out on a limb and put this deal together to try to keep Spud Speedway going. But it brought me back thinking when I met Austin 3 or 4 years ago, and a lot of you viewers weren't able to catch Mainly Motorsports at that time, so I thought, we'd bring that piece back out of the archives and show it, and you're going to see some race highlights in it, and I just want you to be aware of those weren't highlights from this past weekend's race up at Spud. That was highlights from when Austin won his race, a few years back, and give you a chance of, this young man and, the maturity level he had at the age of 15, and why he is where he is today, not only as a racer, as a person, as a student, and why, part of the reason is where he's going and why he's going to the K&N race at Loudon. All the competitors all did a great job, did everything they had to do to put themselves, but everything he does behind the scenes, with his race team, with the people surrounding him, and then obviously the on-track results. But I thought it would be pretty neat to bring that out of the archives and show you guys a little bit about Austin Terrio. When he ran his first late model race, a week before he's going to run his first K&N race, which could be the first of many, if one of those guys standing on top of the haulers down there decides that they see a kid, which we all know has a boatload of talent, but if they see they're willing to maybe invest some money in this talent. So enjoy a little piece we took from the archives with Austin Terrio from a few years back.
There's a lot of young talent up here at Spud Speedway, and we've caught up with one of them making a jump into the late models today, and that's Austin Terrio doing double duty. Is that right, Austin?
Yeah, I usually race a 4-cylinder up here, and we're going to try to move up in class and maybe go try to win some downstate.
Yeah. Now, how old are you, Austin?
I'm 16 years old, sophomore in high school.
Yeah. Now, jumping into a late model, is this your first time in a late model for the Spud 150?
Yeah, my first time. Brand new car. We bought it from Doug Coombs down in Livermore Falls. We tried it. We brought it for practice this week, and it seemed to run fairly good.
Now, I watch you out there in the heat race, and I tell you did a tremendous job. You picked your spots, and sometimes a kid tries to make the jump up, and they try to use it, be a little forceful and make a name for themselves right off the bat. But you were smart. You picked your spots and drove a great race. Went into the Conti. Now you go into the feature, and what are your aspirations in the feature? What's going to make the feature a successful day for you?
Well, first thing would be being able to load up the car without it shortening up by a foot or something. Just getting it done, getting it under my belt, getting it under so for bigger and better things in the future. It's a big step, but I got all the help around me, and I got the support from my family.
I tell you, really impressed by the young guns and this Austin Terrio. We interviewed him. Really, he thinks, before he answers, and he's not cocky. And I think that kid's got a bright future ahead of him.
Oh yeah, he's a really humble kid. Only 16 years old, and he held his groove in his heat race. It's kind of refreshing to see a kid of his age, not head not too inflated and whatnot.
Yeah, 16 years old, and now he's got his foot into a late model. I can't imagine. I never even dreamed of that when I was 16, but that's the name of the game now. Okay, Austin, you're sitting third. You showed tremendous patience that first half of the race. What's your plans for the next 75 laps?
Once again, to keep the nose clean, keep the tires on the car. Maybe the last 20, 50 laps, maybe go for the win. But if my car's not as fast as like St. Clair's, or I'm just gonna hang back and bring the car and load it back on the trailer for another time.
Yeah, no, and you have showed tremendous patience, done a great job. And what did you and your crew make for adjustments in the break here?
Well, there wasn't too many complaints I had. The car was turning pretty good in the center. It was coming off pretty good. We just changed 2 right side tires, and we may make a little track bar adjustment, or panhard bar adjustment, but that's about all.
All right, well, good luck in the second half, Austin.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Did a good job. Had a good run. A little too patient maybe, but that's okay. We finished, and the kid, Austin, did a great job, great car. I don't know, he's 15, 16 years old. Give him credit. He outraced the old guy today. A couple of tires would have helped me, but that's okay. Had a good run.
Yeah, no, and you've been around racing a long time. You've seen some upcomers. You've seen some goers. What do you think of this kid in his future? Does he have a bright future? And I'm not talking NASCAR. Everybody thinks they're the next. But,
Right.
You've raced. Can this kid go on and compete at the Actor level and be a winner at that level?
Oh, I think so. He seems to be a listener. Just by him winning today, he's listened to somebody that's told him, don't abuse your equipment, be around at the end, and that's what makes you a racer. Wrecking on lap 3 of a 150-lap race, I won't say what that makes you, but you got to be there at the end, and then the kid's done a great job. NASCAR is a dollar figure. Everybody thinks you're going to NASCAR. Well, NASCAR, I hope, keeps going. They're struggling just like everybody else in the world is, but his opportunity's there. Pays attention. Don't go too far, too quick, and listen. Advice, just take all the advice you can take, and don't lose your cool on the track.
We've now caught up with the winner of this Spud 150. That's 16-year-old Austin Terrio in his first late model race. Put this in perspective at such a young age, what this means to your career is what you've done up to this point as far as maybe springboard towards the future.
Well, it was a heck of a jump. At first I was kind of nervous, not knowing what the future held. It's a big step going from a 4-cylinder to a late model. And it turned out it turned out pretty well. We didn't have very much bad luck, but I mean, everyone has their good days and everyone has their bad days. Today was a good day, and we were lucky and we had a good car. The crew helped us out a lot. We had a good crew and a lot of support behind me, my family. And I don't know if you could ask for any more.
Well, you say we're lucky, but I watched the race, and you made some of your fortunes. You know, you were smart enough. You didn't put yourself in position to have something happen, and you saw things in front of you that were happening, and you didn't push the envelope. And I mean, that usually comes with experience. We don't expect that from a 16-year-old. You're out here. You got a big fan base here. You got something to prove. You know what I mean? But you didn't look at it that way.
Yeah, that's right. My first goal was to bring the car back without too many scratches on the car. That way we can just put a cover on it and bring it out the next time. I mean, I knew that we had a pretty fast car, and that if I was in position to bring it home first, I was going to do it. But I mean, it could have been the other way around too. I could have been slower than Mr. Morse over here, and I would have just pulled in behind him.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you, I don't know when the last time I think I've been at a race and been this impressed with such a young individual. And I know the people down in the southern part of the state where I live and go to most of the races, they're really missing the opportunity to see a young talent like you. So hopefully you're able to make some of the races down towards the southern part of the state, some of the bigger late model races, because I think you got a bright future. And if you keep the same attitude you got, you can go places, because you've got good parenting, good people behind you, and you know what it takes.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky right now.
All right, well, congratulations. There's your winner in the Spud 150. That's Austin Terrio.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Today's vehicles are equipped with complex safety features such as anti-lock brakes, seatbelt restraints, and airbag systems. Even collision avoidance systems. Not available in all models. Hi, I'm Sean Moody from Moody's Collision Centers. We don't wish bad luck on anyone, but even with today's technology, we need to keep our eyes on the road and our hands on the wheel. Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Clark's Car Crushing has been a family-owned and operated business since 1978. We do everything from crushing cars, handling industrial scraps, to buying the scrap metal right out of the back of your pickup. Copper, brass, stainless steel, aluminum, you name it, we'll buy it. We have roll-off containers of all sizes for industrial accounts. We'll handle the legwork with full drop-off and pickup services. So for a professional job, guaranteed honest weights, and top dollar paid statewide, come see the Clark family in Farmingdale, Maine. Clark's Car Crushing. Don't fix it, scrap it.
Looking for a great time, great people, and great food? Then visit New England's #1 biker destination, Bentley's Saloon, owned by legendary super-modified driver Bentley Warren. Bentley's is a biker bar that welcomes everyone. Staying in the area, Bentley's has their own full-service campground right on site. Tuesdays, Bentley's Cruise Night attracts car enthusiasts from all over New England. Located on Route 1 in Arundel, Bentley's Saloon guarantees a great time. Check out the fun at BentleySaloon.com and see why Bentley says, who has more fun than us?
Hey, I'm Steve Mignonti. You might see me on the Barrett Jackson Collector Car Auctions on Speed Channel, or maybe read my stuff in Hot Rod and Carcraft magazine. But when I'm in Maine, I get my fix from Mainely Motorsports.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Northern Race Tire, dealer for Sunoco Race Fuels, distributed by New England Racing Fuel. LKQ Corp, any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham.
Welcome back to Mainly Motorsports. We're here, like I said, you're probably looking at me and go, man, that guy looks like he's been run over by a Mack truck. Well, I feel it. It's 1 o'clock Monday morning. We're taping this week's episode. That's why I'm flying solo. Couldn't find anybody that wanted to stay up. So by the time I deliver this, me and Dave Stewart, and I'll tell you, a lot of people don't know Dave Stewart. The ones that do really ought to appreciate what he does for Mainly Motorsports. Came up, spent the day at the go-kart race. He's going to work overnight to make sure there's a new show, which we're taping right now to air this week for Mainly Motorsports. So it's like anything, any good business, it's always the guys behind the scenes that make it happen. So I really appreciate what Dave Stewart has to offer and has brought to this program. And and I know everybody that I introduce him to really tells him and tells him what a great job he does, because he does do a tremendous job. Because anybody that's dealt with me and will deal with me in the future knows that I'm all over the place. You never know. My buddy Spanky nicknamed me LMS, Last Minute Steve. So, and that's what happens with a lot of our things. But, you know, this past weekend up there at Richmond Karting Speedway, a lot of people pitched in, like I said, and sponsors. We all know the sponsors. You see them on the scroll running across. You see them on the TV. You see them on the race cars at the racetracks. And, you know, one thing I always try to do is encourage my viewers, encourage the fans of Mainly Motorsports or Motorsports to support those people that support racing. Because if it wasn't for those people stepping up and putting their names on the quarter panels of cars or hoods or on the walls of the racetracks or sponsoring divisions, there'd be no such, you know, thing as racing for us to follow. And I can't thank the ones enough that really stepped up to the plate for us. And the trophies, that's what they make. They allow us to put the big 6-foot winner's trophy out there. And if you could see the looks on these kids when they get to climb up and they climb out of their car and stand next to their trophy that's a foot to 2 feet to 3 feet taller than them, it's just amazing. And you know, I want to throw a shout out to them. You know, Dairy Queen of Westwick, Bob Patton, he's been with me for 3 years on this program, runs a mini cup. Going to be starting an Allison Legacy series. So if anybody's interested in that, you want to contact me, I can get you hooked up with Bob Patton and tell you more about the Allison Legacy series. You know, Junior Box Stock, Joe Maines. A lot of people from the Beach Ridge area know Joe Maines. Crew chief helps out Donnie Morse, Charlie and Diane, the champions from the sports series down there. But Joe came on board, his son, Jacoby Maines, got into go-kart racing a little bit. You know, probably raced a half a dozen times up there. You know, brings a big family support. Spanky from Trackside Racing Supplies, who also helped us with a contingency program. But Joe sponsored the division, and one of the coolest things is, you know, through his Snap-on dealership, one of the coolest things is before they run the feature, we bring them all up and they have to be empty of fuel, you know, kind of one of those tech issues. You want to make sure nobody puts a little magic pill in there that gives them liquid horsepower or whatever. But they all bring up $5 and it's called the pump around, so all you go-kart people know about that. Well, Joe, he just thought that, you know, he's not only sponsored divisions and the trophies and everything else, but he also wanted to sponsor right through to their pump around, so he paid for all the competitors in that class for their fuel. You know, granted it was only $25, $30, but still a step up, and to do that, I really appreciate it. You know, over in the box stock division, you know, Hawkeye Refrigeration. Chris Nelson, anybody that's been to Richmond knows Chris Nelson, puts his heart and soul in it, and into the facility, the racing. A couple years ago, I had Orion Tripp come up, Skip Tripp's boy. They didn't have the right tires, weren't really interested in going buying 4 tires for a child's division to have to race. But I knew I could count on Chris Nelson to pull 4 tires off one of his cars sitting in his truck or his trailer so this other young fella could race. So I really appreciate Cam Corbin. Cam Corbin won the race for the Hawkeye Refrigeration box stocks. And then the Furlan family over there in Auburn, they didn't even race. They've moved on to Whiz Kids, they got go-karts, didn't race. But really believe in what we're able to do. So through one of their businesses, City Cab, they stepped up and you know, sponsored the division so, you know, the kids would have the trophies. And then the guy that, you know, kid raced 3 classes up there. Obviously that's expensive. The tires, staying up in the area, buying the food. But still, Chris Cookson from Cookson Collision Center, you know, stepped up, sponsored the division, always wants to be involved, tells me every year, make sure next year, count us in, love it. And that's, you know, that's what we're getting now. We're getting those repeat sponsors, and that's what makes it really good. And they see the value, they see the kids, and like I said, I encourage the kids to reach out to these guys that support, whether it's through an email to me that I forward on, or whatever you got to do, just let these sponsors know that you really appreciate what they do. And then Billy Penfold. I mean, we all think of Billy Penfold, the rough and gruff, a little rough around the edges, Billy Penfold. 3 years I put this race on. 3 years I've counted on Billy to grab a class through his Oxford Auto Salvage, and it's a pretty big deal. You know, obviously that's not the crowd he's looking for to come up and, you know, the salvage yard and stuff, these kids, but he, you know, he got thanked the first year by a competitor that won one of his trophies, and ever since he's been on board, and just, you know, I always know I can count on him. Where's GMC? They've been there 3 years, you know. Dave Bath's an employee of theirs, so they step up to help out the track as well, and, you know, just can't thank them enough. And then that brings us to the top 2 classes, you know. 3 years ago when I started this event, Sean Moody, everybody knows Sean Moody was running for governor. We talked about it. I said, be some good exposure. He agreed. We came up and put the Moody for Governor signs out around the place. He sponsored the division. Been with me ever since. Doesn't hesitate. The guys love it. They get the big check with the Moody's Collision Center on it. You know, senior sportsman. really appreciate him and his support from all the Moody's Collision Centers, also a supporter of the TV show. And then the animal himself, Lee the Amsoil guy, likes to call himself an animal, but he's really a big old puppy dog. And comes up, not only supports it through sponsorship, but he also comes up with his product. He's there at the event, you know, customer relations, that's what it's about in any business. And Lee, really appreciate him coming on. I mean, 3 years he's been with me. I don't even have to hesitate, you know, don't even have to ask. He just, it's a guarantee, you know. He sees it, he loves it. He's been a part of the tremendous growth. And then a few other ones we want to talk about that, you know, might be product or might be something they do. The trophies, award champs. Just goes out of his way. Anybody that's done anything with Todd Mead over there on the River Road just knows that his business, himself, the first class, they do everything right. Just does a great job for us and our trophies and anything we do on the TV show. So I can't thank Todd enough. Geary Hotel, obviously good for them. We bring business into the area. They give us all a discount rate, $73.50. And anybody that stayed at a motel in the middle of summer or in leaf peeping season, they know you ain't getting a nice motel for $73.50. But we have a lot of guys that come up from Massachusetts and Connecticut, so really appreciate them, you know, stepping up and doing what they do. Sunoco, John Holland. I approached him with the idea last year, helping me out with some fuel and the Sunoco checkered flags. Now, we all watch the Cup guys every week when they win. They do their smoky donuts and whatever it is they do, but they all want the checkered flag to take that victory lap like any short track racer. So John Holland and me got together, put a program together. Every racer takes the Sunoco checkered flag that they fly under and takes it just like the Cup guys do, drives it around the track, does whatever they want to do, and after they take it with them. Beach Ridge Motor Speedway, I think, is the only track I can think of that you still take the checkered flag home after you win. Well, now the Mainely Motorsports 400 allows that with the Sunoco flag, the same one the Cup guys do. So thank you to John Holland and his group. And then this year we had a new group that came on board. They printed out some T-shirts that one of the classes threw into the crowd. They did my lap sponsor boards, which is a big deal. That's how we pay the big money. Thank them, lap sponsors. But that's Sanford Sign Graphics. And actually, they do all my embroidery on my T-shirts too, and my shirts, and try to keep me looking good because everybody knows that's seen me. Sometimes that's hard to do. I'm a little not put together, as my family likes to say. But thank you to the Door family for what they do with you know, the help out with the show, and last minute Steve causing Fred to make the last minute signboard. So really appreciate it, and all the support from all the people that really made this event possible. So we're going to take a break. We come back, we'll talk about some point battles going on throughout the state as well as into New Hampshire, and then you know, we'll show you some highlights and some pictures of some of the winners from the Mainely Motorsports 400 later on in the show. So we'll take a break. We'll be right back here on Mainely Motorsports.
Hi, this is Scott from Scott Recreation. 6 years ago, I went to purchase my family our first camper. I didn't like the way I was treated, and I didn't like the prices, so I opened up Scott Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scott Recreation can help you. We have over 100 new and used travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and pop-ups in stock at both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations, and online at scotchrecreation.com. We take most anything on trade we don't have to feed. We have plenty of no-money down financing available to qualified applicants at the lowest rates we've seen in years. See all inventory at scotchrecreation.com.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your main returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
All of us at Moody's Collision Centers would like to thank you for supporting us for over 30 years.
We all own stock in Moody's and have a vested interest in you and your vehicle.
The people at Moody's Collision Centers are part of the community, and our reputation is very important to us.
We take pride in our work and guarantee our repairs for as long as you own your vehicle.
At Moody's Collision Center, we care about our customers.
So when your insurance company asks where you want to go, tell them Moody's Collision Centers. Now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Bentley Saloon.
Bentley's is a biker bar that welcomes everyone.
Check out the fun at BentleySaloon.com.
And see why Bentley says, who has more fun than us?
Southern Maine Motors, out to be Maine's #1 Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealership. Route 1 Saco.
As we prepare Saturday night to roll into the last points race down at Star Speedway, if you think back, back in April, we had Jake Dorr on the show, we've had Josh Cantera on the show. We talked about the two main drivers, the young drivers in Maine, one driving for the family-based team, the Dorr family, the other one driving for legendary car owners, Goodwin and Ann Hannaford. We've had a lot of drivers who come through their seat, and every one of them's put their ride in victory lane. Josh Cantera, no different, last year's reigning champion. Told you it was going to come down to two of them. Well, Richard Savory's got something to say about it. He's in the middle of the battle, but this Saturday night, if you're looking for some great racing, some open wheel racing, not sure if the Outlaws are in attendance, but the Outlaws are worth the price for missing himself. I mean, the Bulldog, Ronnie Bulldog, Jimmy Renfrew, Joe the Show. I mean, these guys, Jay Sands, name recognizable to the Beech Ridge crowd. So Saturday night, head on down to Star Speedway, their final points battle. Jake Dorr leading the points, Richard Savory second, Josh Cantera third, all really close. And you can't forget the guy that's sitting fourth, Steve Dickey. I mean, just right there. And anything can happen, and we all know, it's not over till it's over. So good luck to all of them, and hoping that one of them brings the trophy or keeps the trophy in Maine. Josh kept the championship right here in Maine last year, and hopefully one of those two, whether it's Jacob Dorr or Josh, can continue the trend and make it 2 for 2 for the state of Maine when it comes to the championship down there at Star Speedway. But this past weekend they had the Star Classic and ran into some weather issues, which a lot of people were worried about this weekend. Some of the racetracks were over, so or the ones that Oxford had the Motor Mayhem, they rushed it right through, got it taken care of. But the Star Classic, Russ Wood picks up another win, 7th career win in the Star Classic, and that's unheard of. That's like winning Daytona 7 times or the Oxford 250 7 times. I mean, it's unheard of, and he's won the Star Classic 7 times. I believe that put him in tied with Bentley for top on the career win list. So congratulations to Russ Wood and his whole group and the whole team and everything that goes on down there at Star Speedway. So it's a great thing. Get down there this Saturday night, support the Weber family, and support our two drivers from Maine that are going for that championship in the top division, the modified division. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got some highlights and some victory lane footage from the Star Classic this past weekend right down there at Star Speedway.
Where's the best place to get a new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram? Southern Maine Motors.
Here at Southern Maine Motors, they really worked with me and made the payments work so it was affordable.
They sit you down, they tell you every little piece of paper, what it means, what this is and what that is.
They're very good here with service, helping out if you got any questions with anything.
I'll come back the next day to pick up the car. They said, you're ready now.
Southern Maine Motors is my dealership.
Southern Maine Motors is my dealership.
No other dealer is working as hard to be #1 as Southern Maine Motors.
Looking for a great time, great people, and great food? Then visit New England's #1 biker destination, Bentley Saloon, owned by legendary super modified driver Bentley Warren. Bentley's is a biker bar that welcomes everyone. Staying in the area, Bentley's has their own full-service campground right on site. Tuesdays, Bentley's Cruise Night attracts car enthusiasts from all over New England. Located on Route 1 in Arundel, Bentley Saloon guarantees a great time. Check out the fun at BentleySaloon.com and see why Bentley says, who has more fun than us?
Clark's Car Crushing has been a family-owned and operated business since 1978. We do everything from crushing cars, handling industrial scraps, to buying the scrap metal right out of the back of your pickup. Copper, brass, stainless steel, aluminum, you name it, we'll buy it. We have roll-off containers of all sizes for industrial accounts. We'll handle the legwork with full drop-off and pickup services. So for a professional job, guaranteed honest weights, and top dollar paid statewide, come see the Clark family in Farmingdale, Maine. Clark's Car Crushing. Don't fix it, scrap it.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Award Champs, rewarding your champions. The official supplier of Mainely Motorsports.
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations. Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
drivers get unstrapped from their mounts. We'll take a walk back here towards the fourth turn. We'll talk to Lou Ciccone, who finishes third here this afternoon. Lou, you had a good run going, ran second there for a while, and caught you after that last restart.
Yeah, we really got lucky, honestly. Car wasn't up to par with the whole feature, but I'll take it.
Yeah, third place. Nice going.
Thank you.
Lou Ciccone comes home in third in the Star Classic, the 47th running of the Star Classic, and a guy who had a great run here in the late stages of the race. Really came through the field and picked up second place with just a few laps to go. Getting congratulated down here from Lou Ciccone. It's Eddie Whitcomb Jr. and man, you were coming here in the late stages.
Well, we mowed the lawn a couple times.
Yeah.
Then under the red, they gave me one of these Lou Ciccone waters.
Okay.
So I think that's what it was. But no, we came in, they made a couple adjustments, Howie did, my Uncle Bob, and we just turned a bad race into a good race.
Yeah, you certainly did, and come home second. What do you think? Had you not had some lap traffic in between? Did you have anything for Russ Wood?
Come on, that's Russ Wood. Seriously?
Well, hey.
Maybe, but I doubt it.
Congratulations to you on a strong second place.
Thank you.
Eddie Whitcomb Jr. comes home in second place for the 97 team in a good run here, and make our way over to Victory Circle here, and we'll interrupt the celebration for just a moment so we can get a word with Russ Wood. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the 7-time Star Classic winner, Russ Wood.
Yes! Oh man, unbelievable. The guys gave me such a great car. Thing was unreal.
I want to say it's kind of an understatement because you had about a half a lap lead there at one point.
Yeah, the car was just beautiful. It's just a pleasure to drive something like this. Gotta thank my crew. You know, them guys are the best. It's a pleasure to drive such a good car. Thanks for the fans for sticking around today. Webbers for having us. Just awesome day for us.
Well, listen, that puts you at the top of the heap with some pretty big names now to be the 7-time winner of this big race.
Yeah, that's quite a feat, and you know, I got another 10 years left in me, so maybe we can add to that.
Well, we'll be watching. Congratulations, Russ.
Thank you.
Russ Wood, the 7-time winner of the Star Classic, celebrating down here in Victory Lane, and what a big win it has been for the 29 crew. Very happy, very stout car here this afternoon, and a big win for Pelham, New Hampshire's own Russ Wood, kind of winning at his home track, and does it again, repeats here in the 47th running of the Star Classic.
Hey, I'm Kyle Busch, and when I'm in Maine, I watch Mainely Motorsports.
Where's the best place to get a new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram? Southern Maine Motors.
Well, it's a 2012 Dodge Challenger with a 5.7 Hemi. I saw it on the lot here at Southern Maine Motors, and I fell in love with it.
The process was really easy. They had exactly what I wanted, so I took it home the same day. I was very pleased.
You got to be careful when you drive this thing. You don't want to get out of it. It hugs the road so good.
Southern Maine Motors is my dealership.
No other dealer is working as hard to be #1 as Southern Maine Motors.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
Welcome to Mainely Motorsports.
To order copies of a show, send a check or money order for $15, shipping and handling included, to Mainely Motorsports, 326 Roosevelt Trail, Windham, Maine, 04062. And please add a description of the show.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations, and online at scotchrecreation.com.
LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham.
Welcome back to Mainly Motorsports, and if you just tuned in, you're probably wondering why I'm leaning on the desk flying solo. Well, it's now about 1:30 in the morning on a Monday morning, and we're shooting this week's show after a great weekend up there at Richmond Karting Speedway for the 3rd annual Mainly Motorsports TV 400. Like I said earlier in the show, can't thank the staff and the people that made it, you know, the girls in the transponders. They were nervous a couple weeks ago when I first met them, and they knew they were going to have to deal with me, but what a great job they did. You know, hired some outside help, some scoring help, and some tech help, and, you know, race director help right from out of state, New Hampshire, big-time kart people, and everything went on off flawless. But let's talk a little bit about the winners in all the divisions. You know, the kids kart division, the DQ division. Owen Kafel made his debut, 4 years old, debut with the Mainly Motorsports TV 400. This is what it's all about right here. This little kid doing his thing, the crowd support, the people cheering for him, the track announcer. I mean, he'll remember this day for the rest of his life, and I'm glad us at Mainly Motorsports and you, the viewers, could be part of it, because what a big deal it was for him. And then the junior box stock side of things, Nicole Benacasa. You know, growing up around racing, her dad, Steve Benacasa, races down at Beach Ridge, the 41 Wildcat. You know, just big deal for her. Always had a smile on her face all weekend, and glad she came up and participated in her first Mainly Motorsports TV 400. Then the box stock division. That was probably one of the neatest things to see all weekend was the two cousins, Cam Corbin, Aiden Clark. Their cousins, their uncles, Johnny Clark. Obviously coming from a pretty good bloodline there, and they battled, and I talked to you know, Johnny's mom, and I said, how nerve-wracking is that, being the grandmother and having two of them out there? And she's battling for the lead, you know, and all you can hope is they don't take each other out. But pretty neat there, and throw a shout out to the little brother of Aiden, you know, Cooper. You know, Cooper picked up the second place trophy, 5-foot-tall second place trophy in the junior box stock division on Saturday. So, you know, here we go again, the Clarks. You know, the Clarks, the next generation of Clarks. Had Gunnar Rowe up there running well. And then that brings us to Austin Terrace, junior sportsman champ, and the sportsman winner. Brought out the broom, swept the field. Wasn't easy. I mean, he had Gunnar Rowe in one class, he had Ivan Kafel in the other one. You know, he had a couple other guys battling, you know, so it wasn't easy. It wasn't like it handed to him. And he just, you know, when he got out front, there was just no catching him. He hit his marks, he was smooth. Same things you hear week in, week out when you're watching the cup races. Hit your marks smooth, hit your marks smooth. Well, we got a little 8-year-old that's doing it up here at Richmond Karting Speedway that's got a bright future ahead of him. So congratulations to him. Brings us to the Oxford Unrestricteds. We give them their own class. They have a big supporting group. And Robbie Wentworth pretty much dominated that race. You know, it didn't go green to checkered, but I think he led green to checkered. And he had a pretty uneventful weekend up there, and he qualified for the big race and, you know, finished up towards the top, you know, in the top half of the field. So congratulations to him. And then that brings us to the money races, a name synonymous with winning races. He's winning races now in the Pro All-Star Series. He's raced in the K&N Series, the ACT Tour. This is won in everything he's ever set foot in, and that's DJ Shaw, strapped into the senior sportsman against the best competition we've ever had here, the best competition that you can bring from all parts of New England. And he held him off to earn his share of $1,250 to win, which put him in line to win a $750 bonus. So when we fired the field up to start the Animal Unrestricted race, the fastest division up there, DJ was racing for $2,000 in a go-kart. That's pretty good money anywhere. Racing ain't anything, but when you say a go-kart, that's a lot of money. But he wasn't able to back it up. He got into you know, an accident with somebody, knocked the toe out, so he didn't have a kart capable of running up front. But Glenn Meisenhelder, who last year picked up the win in the senior sportsman side of things and was hoping to come back and take all the money home, finished up front in the other one with DJ, but wasn't able to pick up the win in the senior sportsman. But in the Animal Unrestricted, he was the man. Came down to him and Nick Haddon, who'd won the first 2 years. And Glenn, they're pretty crafty, and next year when you get a chance, if you get a chance to come up and see these guys race, they are, you know, it's like watching Mike, Ben, Johnny, Cassius. I mean, that's what it is. These guys are the best in the business, and really the people got their money's worth. So congratulations to Glenn Meisenhelder and all the winners from this past weekend's Mainly Motorsports TV 400. So we're going to take a break. We come back, we'll wrap up this week's show and get to bed.
Today's vehicles are equipped with complex safety features such as anti-lock brakes, seatbelt restraints, and airbag systems. Even collision avoidance systems. Not available in all models. Hi, I'm Sean Moody from Moody's Collision Centers. We don't wish bad luck on anyone, but even with today's technology, we need to keep our eyes on the road and our hands on the wheel. Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
July was our best month ever, thanks to our end-of-season pricing sale. So, we've decided to extend our sale until all inventory is gone. Save thousands on our entire inventory. Travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, truck campers, even horse trailers. Every camper in stock. Save up to $20,000. We need an empty lot. Over $1 million in snowmobile trailers are on their way. Last call for end-of-season pricing. Trades welcome, no money down financing available.
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Gary Hotels, located in Brunswick, Freeport, Waterville, and Augusta. The official hotel of Mainly Motorsports. Clark's Car Crushing, located in Hollowell, providing guaranteed honest weights with top dollar being paid.
Well, we're halfway through September, and that means snow's just around the corner. And then what happens after snow flies? You have Christmas, New Year's. Then you got the 25th annual Northeast Motorsports Expo. Things are coming together. All the exhibitors, tours, vendors, sponsors, everybody's gotten their paperwork or should be getting their paperwork in the mail. Sign on to be a part of the 25th annual Northeast Motorsports Expo. The silver anniversary, and can't thank Tim Attire enough, really. I mean, for all he's done for motorsports over the year. Obviously, now he's kind of kicked back. The Northeast Motorsports Expo was his last tie to motorsports, and once he passed on the torch or the reins to us here at Mainly Motorsports, he's kind of kicked back. But if it wasn't for him having that vision 25 years ago, you wouldn't have what you have there today and what we try to do. So thank you to Tim Attire, and go keep checking back on the Northeast Motorsports Expo's website. We're going to have some updates, some changes, things that will be going on. Going to be an exciting show again. Can't wait. I know we all going to sit here and go, we got plenty of time. It's 3 months around. Well, 3 months goes pretty quick. We all know that. We just went through a 3-month racing season like nothing. So, get ready to pay attention. Going to get a lot of information, a lot of things happening with the 25th annual show, and appreciate all the sponsors. Team EJP signed back on, Quirk Auto Group, Team EJP, Peter, Steven, the whole family's been there for 25 years of the event, with Tim, and then stuck with me. Quirk came on my first year. Here they are, year 4. They do a little more each year. We've got a body shop seminar that we're going to have Dave Preventure on at some point talking about. So all you body shop guys, prepare yourself to come up for a little seminar and learn a little bit more about the art and the trade. So thank Quirk Auto Group for coming on board. Obviously, award champs, Sunoco, some of the same sponsors that have been there forever, and they see the value in participating and being a part of it. So, really looking forward to start putting that show together now that my Mainly Motorsports TV 400 shows put to bed for another year, I would say. So, we've shown you some highlights through some B-rolls, and, we'll finish this show up with some more highlights from the Mainly Motorsports TV 400. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Sorry it's not what you become accustomed to with me and a co-host, whether it's GNG or Little Johnny or Big Greg, but this is the best I could do at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning on a Monday morning. So for Steve and the whole staff here at Mainly Motorsports, we hope anybody that participated or was a part of the Mainly Motorsports TV 400 really enjoyed their experience, and we look forward to planning the 4th annual Mainly Motorsports TV 400.
Number 54, as he makes his way out, just give him a big round